Shalom. I am completing my 10-day pilgrimage to Jerusalem, the Holy Land of Israel. And I just want to share with you some highlights of this pilgrimage tour. It wasn't easy by any means, but it's completely enriching. Some of the highlights are starting off in the desert where Abraham was commissioned by God to be the father of many nations, the father of Israel. And because he was the father, we as the Gentiles are grafted in and are of the people of Israel. And we traveled through the city of David, where so many nations were conquered, and went to the city of Bethlehem, where Jesus was born. We had the wonderful opportunity of being baptized in the Jordan River, where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. And as an ordained minister for the Church from All Nations, I was able to participate in baptizing. We baptized over 400 people in the Jordan River, and I was able to participate in that with Rabbi Jonathan Kahn. And we went into the wilderness where Jesus' ministry, where he was led into the wilderness to be in prayer and fasting with God before his ministry began. And he was there for 40 days. And then his first miracle in the city of Cana, where he turned the water into wine. And that was the first miracle of his ministry, and this set the pace for Jesus going through the land of Judea and Jerusalem, spreading the good news of the gospel that salvation has come, deliverance has come, freedom has come. And we got to sail on the Sea of Galilee, where so many of the disciples were called by Jesus to follow him. And the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus would go out into his boat and preach to the multitudes, where he walked on water. And even Peter got out and walked on water. And went to the house of Caiaphas, where the Pharisees and the Sadducees didn't like what Jesus was done, and I find that mystifying, because he's going around spreading the good news and sharing his gospel of good news and salvation, but yet people hated him and they wanted to kill him. And eventually that's what happened. And we went to the house of Caiaphas, the priest, where they said, arrest this man, he's blasphemous. And Caiaphas was like, oh no, just send him to Pilate, because I don't know if this is true or not. And we went to the palace of Pilate, where Jesus stood trial, where Jesus was imprisoned, where Jesus was beaten, and then taken to his crucifixion death, and walked the path of the Via Dolorosa. And I think the most memorable thing to me on this trip was being able to touch the original stones of the path of the Via Dolorosa, the way of pain, the way of suffering that Jesus took for us, to save us, to redeem us. And it was an incredible experience, and took us all the way to where I am right now, in the garden of the tomb. But the good news about the tomb, it's empty. Jesus died, but he rose again. The tomb is empty, and he is alive, and he is returning to this beautiful holy land of Israel to gather his saints, to gather his people, to gather his followers. Genesis 12:3 says, I will bless those who bless Israel. And it is my prayer today that you will embrace this holy nation of Israel and join with them and bless them and pray for the peace of Israel. I'm Dr. Pamela Paul, wishing you shalom from the Holy Land of Jerusalem. I'll see you on the other side, back in the office, Tuesday, May 8th, to bring restoration, healing, transformation, and hope. In the name of Yeshua, shalom.